And yes, it has limitations. I don't expect to be able to legally own, a tank or something. However, when the Constitution was written, I'll say I don't expect to, right? But I mean, I would love to.
I'm out here running marathons because there's people that dream of doing it that can't even walk. It's like behind every joke, there's a little truth. This dude started out joking and we got to the heart of it. They say there's more people coming in the border every day than are being born every day in America.
We're being invaded.
Chat, welcome to the Put Work In podcast, everyone. There's literally nobody listening right now, but it's like you have to say that as soon as it starts. I feel like, because what if nobody ever comes? Then I never said it, and then did we technically ever start?
We started, right?
Oh yeah, we started from the bottom. Now we here. Okay, let's see.
Why does this dude happen to have a group of male friends that are led by a female?
Oh, you're getting into it already. So here's what we're gonna do today. Just me and Cookie tonight. Back to the old faithfuls. This is the Put Work In podcast. I'm telling you what, if you're not out there putting the work in, you're just not. I mean, that's pretty much simple. Pretty much as easy as it gets. Cookie is going for David Goggins' world record of pull-ups. I'm putting it out there for him. Putting him on the spot.
Former world record, guys. 17 hours, 16 minutes, 4,030 pull-ups. We beaten that this
what
year.
Now? How many did he do?
4,030 in 17 hours, 16 minutes.
Hey, I think you can do it, bro. But then the other day you were doing pull-ups, and I was like, I don't know if he can do it.
That was only 1 hour. I just got to do that a few more times.
Yeah, just a couple. So we're going to do that towards the end of the year. I'm definitely shooting a video on that, bro. I'm going to come in at the beginning and the end, and that's it. You'll have to be there by yourself the rest of the time. So one thing I wanted to hit on before, because today we're going over comments on our YouTube channel. We have enough now. We probably won't even get to cover them all, but we have enough. When you have a video blow up, as you all may know by now, you're going to get a lot of stupid comments. You're going to have people that disagree with you, but you're going to have a lot of just stupid comments. But you're going to have some good comments that are like, okay, that's actually a good point, which is very rare. That's like 1 out of 20 comments.
And then you got them comments that just like, why is it even here?
Yeah, and you're like, just what? That has nothing to do with this. I feel like I kind of forgot what I was going to say there. But I do feel like most of the comments you get are negative. Just because I feel like people what I've noticed is when we start getting comments, like say the views haven't even showed up, because sometimes there's a delay in the views, like when it shows you how many views you have. When I start getting a couple negative comments, I'm like, oh, this video is blowed up. Like, I know it's blowing up. Because you'll get when somebody's commenting negative, they're watching your video over and over and over just so they can come up with a response. And they're trying to check the comments, see if you commented back. But also, I think people just would rather be negative than say anything good. What do you think? You think that's more of a tendency for people to just critique more than congratulate, or whatever the other word?
I feel like it depends on whether the video hits them or not. If it rubs them the wrong way because, it's actually targeted towards them, then they'll respond negatively. And as you'll see from one of our most recent videos we'll go over, it's pretty common nowadays to be attacked, not emotionally, but they'll talk about your physical appearance, try to make it like, hey, this guy's stupid because he's got a thin mustache.
They get personal. Yeah, that's an actual comment.
Yeah.
But Carson's on the chat. He said, hey, bad publicity is still publicity. That's very true. Most of the time you have 10 people comment, and you probably have 100 people that support you. They just don't want to get attacked in the comments because you're already getting attacked. But He said some people can't help but point out the things they don't like. It's a lot easier to, especially when you disagree, to comment on there. It's a it's a lot easier to comment and be like, just trash somebody when you don't agree with them, or when something they say may hurt your feelings. But just because something hurts your feelings or you don't like it doesn't make it not true. All right, so we'll go ahead and start. I'm going to try to pull this up. Share screen. We're going through the comments. So if you want to be mentioned on this, comment, because we're going to do this every couple months. It's already, like, I've said it in my head. All right, you see this, Cookie?
Yeah, we see it.
All right, here is put work in. Shout out to Lost Pizza Design Company.
Why is your window so small?
Is that right?
There we go.
There, better. Lost Pizza Design Company. Is that what I was? Is that the right company? What's the difference in this and that? I'm about to see. All right, so wait, Lost. What's it called? I lost my sense of humor. Design Company. You lost something. It's something. Look up Carson Smith. Lost Signal Design Company. So yeah, I keep losing the signal on that, but he designed our. Do you see my? Yeah, you see my mouse. Yeah. All right. So Carson just put his page in the Facebook Live comments. Carson, remind me. We need to put that in the description of our videos. But he designed our logo. He designed our cover art. Just a couple of guys being dudes. This video here, yeah, we need to redo it.
This is what I was thinking. Like,
look how old this is, bro. Look at this, bro. Look at that crap.
Bro, I had the camera in front of my face.
That's so. What? All right, so we got some cool thumbnails. Y'all check our channel out. I mean, you're already on the channel at this point. I mean, our shorts are right here. So here's what we're actually gonna go over here. We'll go ahead to this one. All right, thanks, Carson, for reminding me to put that in the description. All right, so a local police chief, with the rise of recent shootings in the area, has resigned. At least this is, I don't know the guy. I don't know why he exactly resigned, but the narrative out there is that shootings have risen. The board has forced him out, forced him to resign. Why would you vote? All right, so basically, they were like, there's a rise in shootings, and they basically, from what I understand, they forced the local police chief out due to that, or he may have just resigned on other reasons. But we actually had some good comments on here.
Yeah, I'm just kind of reading them. Yeah. I'm just like, it's like.
So, Mr. Bacon 2977 said, "How dare the police chief not read their minds? This is why the United States has fallen." Yeah, man. The United States, man.
The United States, bro.
I really wish we were the United States. I love a good ribeye,
bro.
But yeah, I mean, even with this other Wombat Nation 1709, the police chief should have known when the shootings were going to happen and arrested the individuals before they could commit them. Yeah, I mean, that's basically like we said.
Neil the Young said exactly. Don't forget that one.
That's like the best dude ever. But like, even like we said in this video and in that podcast, it's like, how can a police chief prevent shootings? The only thing that police can do is respond. So be prepared yourself. All right. And then, I don't even understand this one, but that's a great comment. I've never seen a thinner mustache than the one on that second dude's face. He's talking about this one right here.
Yeah.
Look at this nice little face he's got there.
Hey, you want to like pause it later on?
Carson, that's a good comment. He said, law enforcement can't predict the future. They are responders. They react. We call them first responders. The best they can do is respond. But if you get into, predictions and stuff like that, you're getting into
Fortune tellers.
some hairy stuff. You're looking at corrupt governments that will do that. Okay, so the best that law enforcement can do is react. All right, so we'll go to the next one. All right.
Because the women are going to understand each other. The men are going to understand each other. You're not going to have a man leading a woman's group and a woman leading a men's group.
And that's exactly what this guy was commenting about at IMPCOLARG in Pocalargula. All right. Yeah. I happen to have a group of male friends that are led by a female.
However, that context is 99%
I'm gonna go ahead and,
more likely out of context.
That's great. I'm going to put that on there. So thanks for the comment. I think I skipped one. There you go. Why should you vote? Why would you vote? And what's the next? Nothing. I mean, we're getting deep.
I'll show you which one's got the views.
And even the next.
That one's got it.
This one got one comment. It's just me. There we go.
People will bring up the Second Amendment.
All right. So we'll go ahead and watch it.
Shall not be infringed. And then people will say, oh, well, that's just what it is. It's an amendment. It's meant to be changed. Why can't the First Amendment be changed? What if we took away your freedom of speech or your freedom of press, freedom of assembly? And how would you feel after that? People will
How would you feel after that?
I mean, the same way I do now.
I actually have a comment in here that's like, just remember that these amendments have limitations. Okay, so here it is. Yeah. D.W. Smith 3480, whatever. Will you please learn that every amendment we have has some limitations, including the first, second, etc. Grow up and educate yourselves.
Will you please let me know what you people mean, you racist?
What? So, this one's actually loaded. We could stand on this one for a while. So, what I'm thinking is, I don't know how to respond to this one. But I figure you probably would. If Carson was here, he'd have a good response. He actually commented on this, too. He said, are any of the Bill of Rights even enforced nowadays?
Yes,
so this question, like, every amendment has limitations. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of like what this means. Let's first
say what this short's about, because obviously a lot of these shorts don't include the whole topic. But this is around the fact how anytime like shootings arise and stuff, people will bring up, the whole gun control debate sparks back up, and then people will, bring up how the Second Amendment is, like when people are arguing for the Second Amendment, people who are against it will say like, hey, it's an amendment and it's meant to be changed. That's what amendment stands for. So then I brought up, like, hey, what if your First Amendment rights were stripped away? Like freedom of speech. We already see how that unfolds, Believe it or not, your freedom of speech is very limited. And that's not due to the Constitution. That's just due to media. But, I'll leave that alone. But yes, they have limitations. But that's not the topic of. That's not really what this short was about. It was about, if at the same way we feel like you try to strip our rights away, we have a right to bear arms, right? And yes, it has limitations. I don't expect to be able to legally own, a tank or something. However, when the Constitution was written, I'll say I don't expect to, right? But I mean, I would love to. But you have to think, this was written, and, the people back then would have their same firearms, same firepower and capabilities the military themselves had, right? So what's the difference nowadays,
Yeah, they actually had better weapons than the military issued. Well, just like kind of what you're hitting on in the video, like they didn't predict that there would be AR-15s. They just had muskets, and if it's just limited to muskets, the First Amendment's just limited to typewriting. So, not this platform we're on now. All right, so I will 9131. Yes, let's talk about that. And I was like, hey, come to the podcast. We hit this topic a ton. And then they said, or we could talk about it here. I was like, all right. If you read Jefferson's correspondence with Ben Franklin, the Second Amendment was actually more about the potentially invading French. Okay, that works with me too. And then what if we did change it to where we could infringe upon your freedom of speech? Republicans are already doing so. How do you feel about that? What do you think? Because
Cite your source.
I thought this was completely backwards.
Just like,
I
what?
was like, from my stance, it's definitely not the Republicans limiting freedom of speech. Republicans, I know, don't give a crap what you say.
And I saw this comment, but I didn't really think much of it at first. But does it matter, like, who's doing it? I don't want my freedom of speech to be limited. Right. I have a full freedom of speech provided by the First Amendment,
Protected by the Second.
I don't care. Like, I didn't even blame Democrats. I'm not blaming Republicans.
Well, let's put it out there. It's really who it is. It's really the liberal media companies limiting what goes on their platforms.
And, but now that we're saying it, I mean, I will name call. I mean, Republicans do not care, right? Why do you think they're racist? But
and there's a difference between, somebody saying something you don't like. Well, what did they teach you in grade school, man? 6 and stones may break my bones, but words can't hurt me. Okay. Look, man, if what they said hurts you that bad, them having a certain opinion, I don't know, man. That's on you at a certain point. At a certain point, if you're just that offendable, check your heart, honestly. Because, Cookie's not offended that person just called his mustache thin. He thinks it's stupid, but he's not going to go cry about it.
Yeah, I'm not going to shave yet. I should. I'm not going to.
And it didn't hurt his feelings. So, and these are people you've never met, you'll never meet. They're on the internet. Just go to the next thing. In real life, if you don't like a restaurant, man, you don't go to eat there. So, why are y'all so bent over backwards because somebody said something you don't like? Just move on.
See, here's the thing. Nothing I can say can or will ever offend you. You will choose to get offended by what I say, right? You take action upon things that are said. How you respond is entirely up to you. It's like my pastor, Roger, said, like when he drives a bus, and for the school district here. And he says that, like, he had some kid come up to him before and said, hey, man, this guy said something that made me mad. He's like, no. What he said didn't make you mad. You chose to get mad at what he said and react angrily. That's how being offended works, I didn't choose to get offended that somebody called my mustache thin. Like,
just move on.
I know I can't grow facial hair.
He may be just a little offended. So Carson said he's not responsible for how you interpret his words and actions. He knows his intention. I do think as Christians, we don't need to just be out here. What's that noise? Hey, y'all been hearing that music?
I hear something.
I couldn't hear it until I took my headphone off. So I don't know what I was saying. But as Christians, I do know what I was saying. I think we do have a little bit of responsibility to be a little bit wiser with our words and not just be out here spitting sword. that's kind of one reason why I did take that post down, because I did word it a little harshly. I know as men we do talk a little rougher to each other, especially in our group chats. I mean, the content that I see on my TikToks and stuff is, it's people talking to men. It's men talking to men in a manly way.
Get off the couch. Stop eating Doritos.
That doesn't offend me. If someone was to tell me, if you were to tell me, hey man, you're getting a little thick around the stomach, it's not going to offend me, because I know that, and I know I can fix that. Okay, so it's not going to offend me. Now I might get upset with you if you were just making fun of me being a redhead every day, because that's something I can't control.
Oh, I can't say it. I think people consider it a slur. Never mind. Just another speech limitation,
So there's certain things that it might get annoying. I just gotta, if you were like that, and every time I saw you talking about my hair, I just avoid you.
The prime example was when we were running that day, that 20-miler, and 16 miles in.
May have said some things I'm not proud of, but we'll move on. All right, so I commented on that actually already. I said that's
exactly. Put work in podcast, dude.
Yeah, whoever that is. That's exactly what he's talking about here. Without the Second Amendment, the First Amendment will be gone. And from everything we've seen, it's Democrats that want to restrict free speech, not Republicans. But we could be mistaken. We're trying to stay humble around here. We don't know everything. All right, next comment. Dragon Toy 72. What's up, Dragon Toy? That's kind of a weird name. Okay. How about we also discuss how it specifically states a well-regulated militia being necessary? Emphasis on the regulated. This is what he said. Carson Smith, 6448, whoever that is, never heard of him before. It is definitely necessary when the people can no longer depend on the government to protect them or serve them. We must take matters into our own hands. And a great way of doing that is by being prepared for any situation. The Constitution was designed to create checks and balances in an armed population. Trained and ready is a great failsafe should the government ever become fully tyrannical. That's a good point. What this guy's comment was saying, Dragon Toys, is that basically he's limiting the Second Amendment to only a militia and a well-regulated militia, which he's saying is probably
meaning no suppressors, no SVRs.
No, he's well, that could be that. He could be saying that there needs to be if you're watching Dragon Toy, tune in and help us differentiate what you're trying to say. He could either be saying there needs to be lots of regulations, or that weapons need to be strictly only for the regulated militia, and probably implying that is like the National Guard or the Army. That's three different things I just said, so we can go into all that. But I don't think that it's only for the well-regulated militia. I think they're saying also you need to have these guns, so if a militia needs to rise up and defend the country, it could be there and well-regulated back in the day. It's not talking about a bunch of regulations. It's talking about being in order. So being trained, being prepared, that type of regulated. But yeah, it's you kind of see where this is kind of coming up now with the Texas thing. If the National Guard is
what happened here?
Is federalized, then they pull out because Biden, the president or whatever, the executive branch says to pull out. You're gonna have militiamen there because all the people that have arms and they're kind of stepping up and they're going down there to defend the border. Whether you think it's an actual invasion, I think it's more of, it's not like a uniform army invading, but if you kind of see some of what's coming through the border, there was a guy, a known terrorist, that came through and he was on somebody's camera and they were videoing him. They're like, "Hey man, what's your name?" And they were like, this dude literally said, "You're too dumb to know who I am, but soon you're gonna know. Very soon you're gonna know." And then it comes out that guy's a known terrorist, and that guy just walked into the country. So if that doesn't kind of scare you and make you a little nervous, That's just one man, and there's millions of miles down. I don't know if there's millions, thousands of miles of border that you could just walk across. So, newsflash: anybody like that can just come into the country. 9/11. These people were flying on planes that took off in the United States. But anyway, I'm going on a tangent. But yes, okay. So Carson kind
Give
of
me a
goes into that.
signed or a co-signed.
But also, what is defined as regulated? What is the purpose of stating well-regulated if it is attempting to be outlawed entirely with the new prohibition on private paramilitary activity act? That's a handful. What good does it do to the people if trying to protect themselves from the government, if the government is telling them how to protect themselves? Almost like we are meant to be helpless, thus necessitating a need for government to be our protector. So basically, he's saying, well, it says well-regulated. That means that there needs to be a well-regulated militia. But what they're actually trying to do, get rid of the militias, then what's it good is it gonna do anyway? All right, so I kind of commented back to that. Well, the Put Work In podcast did. Couldn't agree more. Completely necessary because a well-regulated militia being necessary. Carson says, "What if the terrorist guy was just lost?" What if? All right, so I think that's that whole video comments. You got anything else to say on that subject?
No, I think I hammered all of it on that first one.
I bet.
I was receiving a lot of negative push. What does the deadlift functionally translate to? Like, you're getting your whole body stronger. That's how it translates. Like, and then there's also extra skill component when it comes to stuff like picking a bookshelf up.
Yeah.
It's like a deadlift.
And it's like if the bookshelf falls on you, being able to bench it off of you kind of thing, right? Because like think you try to guard a door with it and then it falls backward on you. It's still got all the books in it, so it's still heavy, right? Anyway, I'm going somewhere.
He's going somewhere. So
I
basically,
don't know why I said thank you there. I mean, that was weird.
We were just like, hey, deadlifts are functional, man. If you want to practically get better at picking stuff up off the ground, deadlift. If you want to get stronger as a whole, deadlift. All right, so here's this dude is roasting us. HLHS Fishing, 7 subscribers. My last 2 brain cells having a chat. And then Headlock 438 said, "This really be how I imagine myself thinking about some beep." And then I put the little dead skulls because that was actually pretty funny.
I will say this. I feel like this is a very backhanded compliment. I mean, not compliment, backhanded comment. Because, but it was kind of funny, so I laughed.
Yeah, it was funny.
But I also want to say something
Look,
about that.
People are assuming that we are not intelligent because of our accents.
Yeah.
That's not cool, guys. I'm offended.
Oh, it's just because of the flag in my background.
Oh, that too. You're racist.
Yeah. But I kind of want to say, with that Headlock guy's comment, don't you, think about some weird stuff, weird situations you get put in? You just imagine yourself thinking about some of that shit.
I've never imagined myself thinking about something. I don't think.
You just do.
Yeah, just kind of. All right, so I said functional. My own channel, I put functional fitness winter camping. So my vidIQ suggested I do videos on functional fitness and winter camping, and tag to make it just pop up in search engines. So I was like, I'm just gonna comment that on there. Because I think this was after we talked about it in the gym. And Carson Smith he's completely scared of bookshelves now. But he also said if you want to pick it up fast a lot of times, like the bookshelf, just do CrossFit.
Yeah.
Exactly. Functional fitness.
If that's not a problem, what's up, Carson? If that's not a problem, it always feels like it's more than yesterday.
I'm just going. Here we go.
Okay,
this one popped out. 93 likes. That's what I'm guiding this on. All right, so let's watch this one.
Oh yeah, refresh it. It. Am I saying that there are people?
Refresh it.
Yeah, it should be 95 now.
I ain't worried about it.
Well, women that deadlift 600 pounds. I can't deadlift 600 pounds.
You can do 5 though.
But I know if this house were to start burning, I could pick up my mom. I could
At
pick
the
up
same
my dad,
time.
take them out the
Why-
house. You know,
Hold up. Why
'Cause
can't
I'm
they just
physically strong.
get up?
It's just
We'll just keep
shut
going.
up. Can my little brother do
Weak.
it? Probably not.
Your
Right?
little brother sucks. Camden.
Freaking weakling.
What's his name?
So Camden,
What's the name that they call him?
Kenzie,
Kinsey. Yeah, I was like,
Kenzie.
all right.
You being unfit, you not being strong, makes you.
Bro,
a
I said that
liability.
before. And they didn't like that. Dude, people do not
Bro, this-
like that.
This was the clip of the whole podcast. 'Cause that whole line was in the title of the podcast.
Is an unfit man a liability? Boom.
And puts you in a position where you have to make tough choices that you will live with for the rest of your life.
Maybe unless you die.
Also, I think one of the captions messed up in this one that made me say, like, I was stronger than a woman again. Stronger than women. Right? And am I saying
made me look bad.
There are women that deadlift 600 pounds. I can't deadlift 600 pounds.
You can do 5 though.
But I know if this house were to start burning, I could pick up my mom. I could pick up my dad and take them out the house, you know? Because I'm physically strong.
I didn't say
than women there. I was like, what?
This auto caption could get you in trouble. So this one has a lot of comments. All right. Gary Schwenthorpe, 1050, 7 subscribers. I'm a dude, but wait till this guy finds out about adrenaline. All right. What Blake DuBois? He said, wait till you find out about testosterone, brother. I couldn't agree more. Testosterone is better than adrenaline. Okay?
Heaven yeah, brother. You can take, bro, imagine popping like an epinephrine pen.
So what now?
Before a squat sesh.
Dude.
That's not what I meant to say. I don't know. That's just
adrenaline.
Yeah, like I'm trying to.
All right, so Cookie commented on there. It's 2 subscribers, by the way. He'll be having 5 before you know it. Adrenaline is irrelevant to this topic, so if you would like to elaborate. Okay, you have another comment. Beyond anything they normally be able to achieve, you're proving my point. It's irrelevant. Adrenaline isn't a guarantee. So go ahead and respond to this comment.
I think that guy deleted his comment.
Yeah, because that don't make any sense.
Yeah, because I can't even see it over here. But so I said adrenaline's irrelevant to this topic because the entire video is about like just being naturally stronger, right? Well, no, not video. Wasn't about being naturally stronger than women. That was just like where it
First
decided
line.
to clip it. But
Well, that got it hot though.
yeah, so that was a nice little call to action there. Huh? But you got 100 on that one.
The call to action goes at the end.
Anyway, guys, that was just
That's the hook.
Yeah, y'all wouldn't get
So
that.
yeah,
Anyway.
so
But yeah, adrenaline is irrelevant to this topic because I'll include my response to the guy who deleted his comment on here. He's actually right below that comment on a different. But he said adrenaline is like absolutely relevant to this comment. He brought up some Samoan man who lifted a helicopter out of, or it may have been the bottom guy. Oh yeah, it was the bottom guy that said that. But he had brought up like, he may have said the woman who lifted a car off of somebody or something, but I don't remember. But he said, you know, adrenaline will allow people to achieve things beyond anything they normally be able to achieve strength wise, right? And that's, in other words, saying in a life or death situation, you have to rely on adrenaline to kick in.
That may or may not kick in. And
like,
the thing
like
too
I said,
is like
adrenaline's not a guarantee, right?
Right.
But if you're, you know, some kind of fit, you know, that's, you know, that's a guarantee that you're fit, you know?
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like this is what the way I put it is like you got your ceiling, and I'd say when you hit adrenaline and the stars align, your adrenaline puts you at your ceiling. And, you know, on everything goes wrong, bad day or whatever, you got your floor. your fitness going up, your strength going up, brings your floor up. So, you got this guy, 100-pound guy, and, he's your only option. His adrenaline kicks in. Okay, that's what you got. But wouldn't you rather have a 225-pound guy come and have the same amount of adrenaline? You think your chances of him picking that car up off you are a lot higher than the other guy, just because physiologically, there's it's just, adrenaline is only going to help you so much. It's not. I don't care what you say. It's not going to work a miracle. Like, your body's capable of stuff. That adrenaline just helps you figure out what it's capable of. So,
and not to mention, you have to hope that it kicks in. Right?
Yeah,
you're not just guaranteed that in a life or death situation, adrenaline's just going to kick in, right?
But your fitness and your floor is going to be there. Your baseline.
Your 5 burpees and
10 push-ups or whatever.
Whatever.
It's actually a workout we did. It's called baseline. All right, so Carson said that you legit are mad at the people that comment. You take it really personally. It does. I feel like when you comment or send a text or anything that's like oppositional to you, I feel like we all just read it like you're just mad and you're just like.
Dylan told me to respond to him, but I didn't feel like taking a video.
Mm-hmm.
So I
was like, hey, dude, make a video so we can post it.
And I was trying to just be blunt. And that's what most of these comments were. My first response to all of them was just me being blunt. Adrenaline's irrelevant to this topic.
Carson said that CTA for you stands for creatine, tren, and anabolics. All right, and then he said training gives you measured standards that are proven and tested. You know where you stand
for Carson
on any given day. Adrenaline is just extra. Yeah, wouldn't you rather just have the confidence that you could do it than having to bet on adrenaline? All right, so Rat Messiah 7223, what a name. Yeah, he definitely looks like the type of person who would feel the need to weave misogyny into discussion where it's completely irrelevant. That's kind of a weird comment. I don't think there's anything misogynistic in there.
Yeah.
Okay, there's Peyton said, I'll give you $1,000 if you can rewatch the video and tell me where a misogynistic comment was made. Not to mention, everything that was said was completely irrelevant to the topic. I can kind of see, like we were saying, like it hit like the men and women difference, and then it was like,
this was stemming off of a video where
in the proper
this
context,
was a video that brought up Dylan's video that he deleted, where he was talking to men, and we were talking to that because men are leaders. Men are the ones that are meant to be strong, right?
Oh, you're hitting something crazy now.
I was saying like men are naturally strong. That's why that video was targeted towards men, right? No, I typically just like science sometimes.
So Lake says
people are always for science until it's against them.
Right. Lake says, so basically this is what you say when you bench 275 for the first time.
It's crazy. I can't even bench 275 anymore.
For the last time. You didn't know it would be the last time. So I said, like this if you can deadlift 600 pounds. I got 2 likes. So I'm on the podcast page. I might as well like it. We can, if we put our totals together, we can lift 1,000. Paper Rain, 17 subscribers.
I thought that was Terry at first.
So yeah, that's Terry Rains. This dude speaking looks and sounds like the most emotionally fragile person in the world. Oh my gosh, take their computer. They've ended the world. Cookie's crying. Yeah, this was a very stupid comment. Okay, so Peyton said, based off your comment, I could tell I hit my target audience with this one. Whatever that means. I thought it was very funny. Here, like this dude, like, they're out here pulling shots. The reason you were getting comments like this is just because it's more of a viral video for us.
And because...
Oh, they commented on your mustache again.
Yeah. That's just the first one I saw.
So, hope he is... Mega Joy 66. Hope he is stronger than his mustache is saying he is. Carson commented that
I
your
hope my mustache
actually
tells me I have a
adds.
1,300 pound total.
Yeah, it adds 25 pounds to his PRs. Kevin Elrod 323. We got a long comment. I agree and disagree with this. There are videos and other documented instances where people have had extraordinary strengths to save loved ones. Okay, we agree. There was a Samoan man that lifted a freaking helicopter that had crashed and was upside down far enough out of the water for others to pull 2 of his relatives out of the wreckage. Have y'all seen Samoan men? Those dudes are freaking huge.
I wanted to say 2 things before you pass that sentence. 1, Wise had crashed and was upside down in parentheses. 2, it's in the water, right?
A little easier, probably. I don't know. Probably not.
Yeah. I can push a boat in the water.
That's true. If it had a little float. But also, Samoan men are huge. Like, if they're genetics. Have you seen The Rock? There's an exception to every rule. I agree. But it's a POS thing to do to make someone that is literally unable to be in tip-top shape feel like they are less than someone that is able to. May not have been the intent, and maybe I'm reading more into it than I should.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
I also didn't respond the way I wanted to. I couldn't think of a better example while I was going through these comments.
Look, here's your one rare comment of someone coming to back you up. So Brady Walker 5766, come on the podcast, bro. Yeah. Who said you got to be in tip-top shape? If you have a problem with him saying hit the gym, then maybe he's talking to you.
Brady Walker, my buddy.
He's one of us, bro. Join the Discord. Come to the Burden Society. Okay. Clearly, this isn't toward people that are unable to be in shape. I don't expect someone in a wheelchair to be working their butt off in the gym. I do, but not only in ways you're capable of. I expect the men that are freely capable of putting work in to be strong enough so the person next to them can rely on them when it matters. Yeah, if you could walk, bro, don't stop taking your life and your abilities.
See,
for
I
granted.
I didn't like my comment because I wanted to think of a better example, but the first thing that came to mind was, a wheelchair person.
I know people in wheelchairs out there getting after it, okay?
Yeah, I do too, which is why I wanted a better example, but I was just like,
I know somebody with one arm
I can't think.
that could squat a house but won't put the work in, okay? And there's people that can't walk that would give their freaking arms to do what some of you people can do. You people. So Carson said, if you're in a wheelchair, maybe your upper body works and there's no excuse to not be shredded up top. Yeah.
Amen.
Look, I mean, it's easy for me to say I have all my limbs. I have every ability, but I'm out there getting after it. And that's one reason why I'm in the gym putting it work in. I'm out here running marathons because there's people that dream of doing it that can't even walk. They would give their, I don't even know what to say. They would give their arms. I've said that, but that don't make any sense. But they want to do it, and you can, and you're being lazy.
Bro, they would return their wheelchair just to be able to walk again.
I don't even, you're being lazy. You're sitting on your butt watching Netflix, playing video games. I don't have a problem with that if you put the work in, if you pay your dues, then do it. All right, let's find another video. I want to get into some sheriff stuff. All right, we're going to see where we're at. 6. What is this one?
But I have something contradictory to say on.
I want to get into some of these sheriff ones. Who is this?
How hard y'all want to be? How uncomfortable you trying to be today? How unbreakable you trying to be?
You.
Who's gonna carry the boat? Started my run at 27 degrees. Currently 32.
Okay.
4 miles in. Got a little over 5 left.
Cookie spitting.
Put the work in, boys.
He's spitting, bro. I'm gonna have to comment. It's probably me.
That's
it's not gonna show it.
Well, we need to say something.
Get hard, man. It was apparently that's not a good comment.
We need to say something different besides who's gonna carry the boats.
Yeah, bro.
Because then we just sound like the white David Goggins.
Aren't that you?
And I was only going to the gym.
I thought you were wanting to talk about that video.
Nah, I didn't care. It's just a joke.
I guess we.
What does this one say?
I just want to show y'all. What does it mean to be a man? Because I would think
that was a funny one.
I want to know, since when does
me, Carson. I think when
you almost had it.
With that, I think it has.
Here
to
we
do,
go. I don't know if this one has any good ones. They said I look bad, bruh. So this is one of those AI ones. They're all AI. All of our shorts are AI. A lot of times we don't even look at them. So it was kind of a weird cut, but we did have some people say something about that. But they called me a funny-looking dude because
not only that, you look so bad too.
Yeah, I look bad, and I'm a funny-looking dude. What did I say?
Finally, some of the hate comes off of me and my mustache.
Here's what I see: a lot of people like say negative stuff, and then you'll comment on it, and then they'll be like, "Oh, my bad, I didn't even think you'd see that," and then they want to be friends. It's like, no, bro.
You know? And that's bad.
We got a lot of these. We were hurting for shorts back then. All right, so we're getting into the cop shorts. All right, here we go.
And we had the SWAT vehicle out there and the K9s, and I put the bike suit on.
So this one actually got only one comment. But it's a good video. If you think God created...
but it was some of the best...
Jesus already died for that, so... Oh, yeah, we got a good one. You don't have to die again. I mean, die daily, whatever, but...
You're not getting billed again.
Right.
It's already been
paid for. We was feeling ourselves back then.
He ain't sending you another invoice.
Right. It's paid off, bro. It's paid in full.
Well, what happened to your face there, dude?
Bro, it's twitching, bro. It off, and 5 years down the road, the company send you another bill. Something wrong. That ain't how Jesus operates. He paid it off.
Paid it off, brother.
Paid it
all right,
off.
That's basically the point. Jesus paid it. So this guy, Francis Corraguer 96, 6 subscribers. Jesus paid for that. No, he didn't. Most likely a group donation from a community. Kind of like when people say it was God who saved your life, not the doctor who did everything they could. This comment, it's kind of like sarcastic, but it's also like, are you like? I'm thrown off by your comment, Francis. But at halfway a joke, but halfway at the end you kind of get serious. I think I might have addressed that in the comment. Yeah, God uses doctors and modern medicine. So,
it's like I was about to say, like, think of it like, you got some extra money on you, right? And this person's just like they're praying to be blessed, some kind of financial way, right? And then you feel led to give somebody some money. I don't know. This is just
maybe even you just being nice.
Weird example, right? It's not God physically giving them that money.
Well, I mean,
to bless them, it's them using you to give them that money and bless them, right? Same with doctors, right?
Yeah, and God uses people. Doctors. Oh yeah, we read your comments, Carson. Doctors are people. People made up the stuff that doctors used. Modern medicine, the textbooks, people wrote those. God could have used people to write those. So it's not like we're not saying that, you have to, I don't even know where I'm going, but like, we kind of agree with you, Francis, but yeah, solid comment.
Other than the group donation from a community.
Yeah, it was kind of like it was sarcastic. Then you got into like, it's like behind every joke, there's a little truth. This dude started out joking, and we got to the heart of it.
But yeah, he does use doctors, but he uses the doctors. Wait, never mind.
I want to work.
Yeah, who gave the surgeon the steady hand to operate? That's what Carson said. All right, so this short here, it's just Shane talking about him wanting to become a police officer, and he's actually the sheriff. Been doing it his whole life. Somebody said he should have been a fireman. And we actually got, I'm going to go ahead and disclaimer it. We got a lot of negative cop comments from these shorts. So Brian Campbell, 8824, you want to rule over the community as a tyrant. That's cops today.
You want to come on the podcast and Tell us
Talk
that face
about
to
it.
face.
I mean,
Oh,
it's not gonna
talk about it.
Zoom like we're on the internet here. You know, I mean, come elaborate because I have no idea what you're talking about. You know, I can see where that I've seen videos. You know, we're pro police, pro good police, and that's I feel like that's relative, subjective, because there are bad cops out there, and we're
I
anti
just like
that.
to say that one bad apple from a tree doesn't make the entire tree ruined.
Right. It's crazy because we could be, on one level we could be anti ABC and then pro.
Now I will say the soil that the tree is growing out of might be a little useless, but the
Good point,
the tree
Carson.
itself is a good tree.
Carson said bad cops are just bad people being cops. So yeah, I mean, just like the doctor thing, God can use cops too. And, there could be bad doctors. Because I know a lot of doctors that are not worth a crap. And there's a lot of cops that are not worth a crap because there's a lot of people that are not worth a crap. I'm being kind of, I'm sorry, guys. I want to keep my First Amendment rights here. So, I don't want to.
Keep them. You have them?
That's a good question.
Bro, I missed the update.
They say the domestic violence.
All right, so domestic violence calls are the most dangerous. Yeah, we got some good ones on these cop ones. So, Dilly Young said they sketchy. Yeah, Carson said his doctor's bad because he said he was overweight according to his BMI. Your doctor's just telling you the truth, you fat. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so Aqua Dude 4784. I don't know what they're talking about there, but we'll take the comment because I don't think there was any love in this. They said they can't wait to find real love like that. Are we in love? All right. So Steve Collins 6178 also invited to the podcast. If you disagree with us, bro, reach out. We'll talk to you, bro. That's all it is, a conversation. It's not gonna hurt us to have you on here to talk to us. We're not scared, and I'm not scared of being wrong either. Like if you come on here and actually prove a good point, I'll be like, okay, good point. So Steve Collins 6178, one subscriber says they lock up men that didn't do anything regularly. I had a cop tell me when they are called for a domestic violence call, someone is going to jail. If we don't take her, we're taking you. So naturally, I said, take her.
Now, I wanna ask this: if you are calling the cops because of the domestic violence issue, but you don't want anybody to get in trouble for it, then why are you calling the cops?
Why y'all wasting the cops' time anyway?
Why are you wasting our taxpayer? Like, why are you wasting our tax doing
Dollars.
crap like that?
And someone's got to stay and protect the house. Hey, I was kind of funny because he was like, "You got to take her to jail because I don't want to go." And then I was like, "Somebody's got to stay and protect the house, so that's good. It's good call." He said,
"You didn't respond to him."
It's crazy though. I begged the cops not to arrest my baby mama, but my nose and lip was bleeding. Dang, dude got whooped. And then he went and bonded her out. So that's kind of a good story, bro. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I think he kind of mentioned it in the podcast that like the law says somebody's got to go in. So it is what it is, man.
Yeah, but yeah.
It's kind of these rules. There's a lot of things cops, they're just doing a job, at some point, even if you're looking at a federal level, talking about FBI, ATF, they're just doing a job. And at some point, they got to look inside themselves if something is not right, and they have to decide whether they're going to go along with it or if they're going to, lose their job, basically. So, that's kind of a place we are in this country, and a lot of things have slowly chipped away, and then you look back and and it's kind of at a bad spot. You know, I'm being kind of vague, but yeah.
And
here we go.
And I definitely feel like this is why, as a man, leadership is not optional. Like, if I feel like if you're a male, like you can't just wander through life with no goals, not knowing what's happening. You know, letting the world happen to you. You gotta try to get it figured out, because you know, whether you know it or not, there's gonna be people that look at you and compared to them, you got it figured out, even though you might not. But you know, based on their life, you know, you've got the recipe, and that's why I really do feel like, as a man, like you're a leader by
Who
me.
is this handsome? Oh, so Carson said that ATF is not heterosexual. No comment. Goat short.
You know we have limits to our freedom of speech. Come on, we can't just be talking about that.
Oh, so this is hilarious because we talked. Well, that's whoa! That sounds like I'm gonna get banned if I say that too fast. I did not realize 56 subscribers though. You in the garage, bruv. And then obviously this dude's from like Europe.
You in the garage, bruv.
And then Carson commented on there and said, "Facts, mate." And I died, bro. And every time I talked to him for like the next week, I said, "You in the garage, bro." This dude responded like I was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna pretend like this dude's an American." I just responded to the garage question. I said, "Get it in where you fit it in." And then Carson commented on there and said, "Facts, mate." User, I'm not gonna say that. No username, basically. Rule number 1: don't compare yourself with others. What you have is always better. What?
I read the username, but you wouldn't.
That's just ridiculous.
That's just being lazy. That's the entire opposition of our podcast.
What's your opinion on the constitutional carry? He said, "Carry your gun, bruh." All right, let's see what the comments say. It said, Wiley155 said, "Seems like he's admitting his God is useless." I actually dislike this one. There's very few comments. If I don't like it, I'll just leave it alone. The problem is, if you don't respond to them, they stay up and you're unresponded to. And so a lot of them I'll just like or comment or just say something not offensive. But I did dislike this because he coming. And then I commented, "It's not that, it's people that are the problem." So dude's saying, because you know, Shane's very outspoken about his faith on this podcast, and you know, he may have said it in the short that he'll even carry at church. So this dude was like, "Oh, so you're admitting your God is useless?" You got any takes on that?
I know this is just a reaction video, so like you can't really deep dive.
Deep dive, everything. Bro. We're here.
But like, the thing is, God's not always going to intervene.
Okay. Well, it's also kind of like what we've been saying with the doctors thing. God can use you. I mean, what are you just going to do? Just let everybody die in the church? I mean,
it's not like bro's just going to plop a brick wall on a bad guy that walks into a church, you know?
I mean, I completely believe that dude comes in to shoot, he can make all those bullets miss or turn into Nerf bullets. But, you know, I don't think we got the, Fortnite, you know. That's what you were quoting. I did not catch it. But, yeah. I don't think the state of a church, we don't have the faith. Like, this guy's got a point in that fact. Like, if you had that much faith at the same time, you got a gun, protect people. So this guy, Rusty B. Wiley 7388, you should have to take a gun safety course before you can carry a weapon in public, concealed or open. No course, no carry. All right. So in response to that, because you do hear that a lot, and the problem with that is people will put such a standard on there that it'll be almost impossible for you to carry in, communist states like California. And a lot of states actually already require that if you're going to have a permit. But, it's not in the, like we were talking about, man, it's not in the Constitution. It doesn't say as long as you have your safety course, done. And it's not that hard to be safe with a gun, because guns are, honestly, they're inherently safe, especially these days. They don't, you have to make them go off. The average person just needs to be able to draw and accurately fire one bullet to protect them, Carson said. Well, yeah, your comment left. It's going to, if you've ever watched any YouTube, it's going to take some,
focus.
Some more, the more you dig, he was still typing. The more you dig into it, I used to be along the lines of, man, why are these cops mag dumping? And, the more, I watch Donut Operator, you watch it, go watch some of that. It's not like PG-13, but the more you watch that, the more you realize that the human body is crazy and can take, especially if hyped on adrenaline and drugs.
Let's bring up that adrenaline comment and drugs.
You could take some shots, bro, and then add on body armor or anything like that. You got to shoot until they down. And even then, I watched the video the other day. This dude got tased, shot, and whatever, and then he still got back up, and they had to mag dump on him again. So,
if the situation arises, you have to shoot until your target's been neutralized.
I do think that in most situations of self-defense, like if somebody's trying to rob you or whatever, it's not going to take much skill to draw, and it doesn't matter. A gun's a gun, honestly. At within 5 feet, you can mag dump. This is not legal advice. But you could take somebody out. You could at least, most people are going to be scared of that. Yeah, people need to know gun safety, but I don't think there's a good way to legalize it and require that. None Your Business 4904 said that we should teach it in school. Teach people how to safely exercise their constitutional rights. Yes, there's a ton of stuff that they need to teach in school that are necessary, like taxes, budgeting. They teach way more unnecessary stuff in school than necessary stuff, in my opinion.
Like Esteban.
The average person, in most situations, this is Carson, need to be able to quickly draw and fire 1 to 3 bullets accurately to be able to appropriately defend themselves, in my opinion. However, the chances of an opposing military force invading our country is slim but never zero. Yeah, and I think I want to do a YouTube video on this and kind of go into the different reasons why you should have a gun. Hunting, sports, just for shooting. I mean, what's the problem with just shooting targets? But self-defense, in most cases, self-defense is going to look like what we're talking about. Getting robbed and getting assaulted, something like that.
See,
but you also have
something about his comment.
You also said, yeah, we can get back to that in a second. You also have the situation where maybe another country invades, and it'd be nice to have a rifle. Or the country you're in falls.
Invades itself.
I'm trying. So, what I was saying is the gun training could be excessive, like you said. You just need to understand the gun and how it works and be able to use it. Yeah. And that's not hard. And I think everybody, me and you've we pushed that subject. We had a whole podcast. The first podcast we ever mentioned guns, Christians and guns, something like that, or self-defense.
Christianity and firearms.
Yeah. Go back and find it.
Episode 16.
But episode 16, Trevor left the podcast. We went full send. into not even a fitness podcast. But Trevor kept us grounded. Okay. But anyways, we said it in there, like, you need to be trained. Completely necessary. I'm all in on get trained. I want more training. Me and Peyton are rookies. And we're probably better than most people. But most people think I got a gun. They don't even know how to flip the safety off. They never even shot their gun before.
Because
Go out there and shoot it. Spend some money. Invest in some ammo. Go out there, target practice. Get familiar with your gun so you can be more confident with it. And you can be safer with it. And I'm not saying you should require that legally. I'm saying you should just do that. And there's a lot of things in life where it should just be like something you do, but you can't necessarily just require it legally. It's kind of like... Nah, I won't go there. All right, so Carson's saying random stuff on here to try to get me to say it, but I'm not.
I'm trying to see what you will or won't read. Yeah, we'll read that. Oh, whoa, hold on, go back up.
I lost it.
I'm gonna tell you.
Oh, it's this one. No.
I definitely.
There we go.
What's your?
All right, so we'll go back to this comment.
So I want to see, like, I want to know exactly what he means by gun safety course, right?
Yeah.
Because, like, I feel like gun safety and then proper operation are like two different things, right? You have one on how to, like, safely handle and safely conceal your firearm, and then you have to know how to use it, right? I don't know if just the basic operation of your firearm would fall under gun safety, right?
Yeah, I think it probably would.
I think it depends on how you look at it. But I only want to say that because, I wouldn't require anybody to, like, I would expect people to know how to safely use a firearm if they're planning on concealing it for the purpose of concealing it, right? So that's why I want to say this. Like, people who are carrying a firearm or concealing one for the purpose of concealing it, my brain just farted. But people that are carrying or concealing a firearm for the purpose of concealing it are going to more than likely know how to use it, right?
Yeah.
And I only say that because it's not like it's
somewhat.
I don't remember exactly what the topic of this specific clip was about, other than just concealed carry. But people who are concealing it are concealing for one of a couple different reasons, and that's to protect, or really just one main reason, and that's to protect themselves and others. In the event that it's needed. So how are they going to protect themselves if they don't know how to use it? And I'm sure most people, well, I would assume, now these are all assumptions.
I don't make an assumption.
Well, I can't
we did hit on this before, where we said
base facts on how many people know how to use their firearm that are carrying, right?
Right. It's more likely that they probably know how.
See,
if they're
that's what
if
I'm saying.
they're
We're
using
assuming they know how.
In waistband holster.
Inside the waistband.
Wearing it appendix, then they definitely, because most people, if they just got a gun, they didn't put any more research in it, don't have any more training on that, they're probably just going to put it on a lot of people are going to open carry. They're going to, just because they're not even going to put it in a holster, they're just going to keep it in their truck or something like that, or they're going to put it on their hip, and they're not even going to properly conceal it. And all that takes a little bit of research and training to figure out the best way to do that. But we did hit on this before, where we said, somebody that just has a gun and doesn't have any training, doesn't have any competency with it, are going to be more dangerous than not having a gun in a lot of cases. And I think a lot more people should carry a gun, in my opinion. Carson wants to talk about the advantages of concealing and open carrying. And he also said knowing how not to shoot someone and knowing how to defend yourself are two different things entirely. Once you start on the advantages of concealing and open carrying, I'm going to be right back.
All right. Okay, I'll say like one advantage of concealing. So I'll use these. These are two vice versas, right? The advantage of like the first advantage will be one of the disadvantages of the other, and then so will the next one, right? So like an advantage of concealed carry. Well, no, I'll start with open carry. One of the advantages of open carry is honestly it's a lot easier to get to when you need it, right? Because it's right there. You know, you don't have to lift your shirt if it's inside your jacket. You don't have to, pull apart your jacket if you have one like them little over the shoulder rigs, or even if you carry it normally just with a hoodie over. You don't have to go through layers to pull it out. Even if you're good and competent and, are trained to pull it out when you do, pulling it just off your side without having to pull shirts out the way or anything would be a whole lot quicker than having to pull it out of your waistband by lifting your shirt up first and then pulling it out. Which
at the
would
same
definitely
time,
translate to it being one of the disadvantages of concealed carry. But one of the advantages of concealed carry is the fact that it's concealed, right? People aren't going to know you have it.
Exactly.
You're not going to be one of the initial. Well, I'm not going to say that. You're not going to be thought as I'll call it an HVT, right? Just because you have it on you, because somebody's not going to know you have it on
targets.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's definitely open carry benefits would probably be just like a half a second quicker draw. If you have a proper holster, though, probably like.
And like I said while you were gone, like obviously if somebody's trained and knows how to, pull a hoodie and a shirt up at the same time to pull it out, but still like as an overview or like as overall, it's probably just a little bit quicker to pull it off your side, which would be like one advantage.
But they're gonna know it's coming.
But the overall concealment, it's like with Carson just said in the comments, you have the element of surprise. People don't know you have it. And it's like I was saying, like, and of course it all depends on like the situation that you're put in and how the person who is going to do what they do, surveys things, right? If they see, hey, this guy has a gun on his side, right? He might try to shoot me if I start shooting.
At the same time, it could be a deterrent.
You make yourself an HVT.
I ain't gonna do nothing because this guy. But at the same time, you could be the first target. And you might get that half a second extra benefit of drawing, but at the same time, they know it's coming. But I do see a lot of people that open carry. It scares people. For some reason, people are scared of guns. And they're like, they just think that, oh man, that's just about to go off in his holster. It's kind of intimidating.
Yeah, dude,
what I've noticed,
still carry their guns.
The people, the same reason for cops would be the open carry. Kind of says, oh, even though if you're not a cop, it's like, oh, there's a cop. But the most people that open carry I see are like older men and overweight men,
and they're always revolvers.
The highly likelihood is a revolver. So Carson said he used to open carry a pistol while hunting. No need to conceal. An open carry when I worked for Granddad at the pawn shop, because in that situation it was better to deter a threat by them knowing I had my weapon. Yeah, good point.
I don't know. I conceal my handgun when I hunt.
I think, and it's going to cause a lot less problems if it's concealed. If you're among the public, I think if you're at the house or you're hunting, open carry, it's your house. I mean, they're not going to tell you can't, But a lot of people, that's the thing about concealed carrying too, is you're wanting nobody to know. Because a lot of people will see a gun and then they'll call the cop. And then you just got to leave. But Carson said he don't want the deers knowing you packing.
Yeah, it's all relative when it comes to that. Well, not all, but
concealed carry.
Most pros and cons can be pretty relative with the disadvantages. But I will do what I do.
Yeah, I'd say concealed carry. It's just
I'll be walking around with an AR underneath my hoodie.
Just look around next time you're out. And what do you think when you see somebody that's open carrying? And what would somebody say if, like, when you are concealed carrying, you're like, a lot of your focus is on people not seeing it because you don't want people to know you're carrying.
I'll be like looking down, making sure it's not my hand was not sticking through my shirt, and
so just throw all that out the window and put it on your hip. I mean, no. So all right, so let's keep rolling. See what we got. I think we might have been through all the cops. Nope.
Oh, with that,
and that'll push you away from.
Here we go.
go apply.
God. 21 comments. All right, so basically, just some advice for somebody wanting to be a cop. He was basically like, find a good department and apply. That's basically what his answer was. And get in shape. Okay. Oh, we'll start at the top. 7250 CIH. This is all well and good, but tell me why there are so many fat and out of shape cops. I see them all the time. Just asking. That's a good point.
You know, like we've
been saying that.
We've said before, you know, like everybody wants to fire the fat cop, so fire your fat husband. I mean, I didn't say that.
I think you did.
Oh yeah, I did. Fire your fat husband, guys.
Yeah, I mean, we're completely on board with that. Yeah, it depends on the department, PT standards. You know, I feel like this is more of a thing of the past, but you will find some overweight, older grandfathered in cops. I mean, it's life or death, man. Cops, firefighters, EMS. There's a video. I'm trying to think of the name of the channel. But it's basically this guy going over it. He's actually a first responder, and he had a couple other first responders, and he's trying to get people to get in shape as first responders because it's life or death for you, for the people you're helping. And the worst thing that could happen, you lose, an hour a day, but you gain years on your life. Even if you stop being a first responder. So just love your family better. Get in shape. Carson said most cops he sees are shredded. I know a lot of them that are. All right, James Dar H3150. Why have a PT requirement when you can be a slow, fat slob of a cop once hired? The first place they should go to is a psychiatrist to make sure they are right on the head for the job and won't be another egotistical bully with a badge who will violate people's rights. Yeah, and there's actually psychological evals before you can become a cop. There are. At least they are here. I think I'm pretty sure he said that in the full podcast. But, you don't know till it's on the job. And just like any job, you can get away with stuff. There's people act different in front of their managers than they do.
Anybody can pass the psych eval.
Well, I don't know about anybody,
but like, everything changes when you get shot at or you see a dead body or,
Oh, you get a little power.
I don't know. That I feel like this comment was like a 2-part comment. I don't know.
Yeah. Because I agree with the first part about like what they're saying. Like, yeah, it's the same comment as the one before.
Same person,
if
bro.
They don't have a PT requirement during, it's purple icons. Then they need to. All right, we'll go ahead and move on. Patrick GG9HK. The only requirement to be a cop is to be an incompetent moron.
Nah. It looks like you're calling the Ghostbusters then, Buster.
That's not true. Just like any job, bro. You're going to have incompetence.
Bro, I got incompetent bucket makers, dude. Like,
you. But that didn't mean, like, the standard. I don't know what I'm trying to say. But that's not. Yeah, all right, whatever. Nice opinion. Dilly Young said get in shape. Whoa. That's uncalled for. Wow.
Well, you can't say that online.
Big Dude 382. Being a pig is the most cowardly, weak punk job you can apply for. Never call the cops, bro. Especially when your kid's school is being shot up. Don't call the cops.
On this side of the line, we're not able to just identify as other things, so we can't really be pigs. I mean, but I would like to see a pig in a police outfit. That'd be pretty dope.
I think I have seen that before. Carson said the exception is not the rule. that goes with any job. We've hit on that. So just keep watching. We're going to hit on it again, I'm sure. Act really dumb. High IQs need not apply. Joe Mountain Man, 59 subscribers. We got some real hot cop haters. We haven't even hit the worst of it yet. But you're going to have, like I said, the exception is not the rule. You're going to have dumb people in every job. And I don't know where these people are from. They must have really bad departments.
He's from a mountain, bro.
He probably is the cop.
He's just giving you advice. If you have
back
an
to
IQ,
that last
don't apply.
comment, though, bro. Who goes in these schools when they're getting shot up? I feel like that's like the only thing we can think of. But who goes into the gunfire? You know, there's situations where people don't. Where cops don't do it. We saw that. You know, we agree that's a problem. But at the same time, you gotta have a certain type of nad to be a cop. And
to call any kind of first responder cowardly is a very coward comment.
You have a bad taste in your mouth. You have a bad experience. Right, it's literally their job description to serve the public, to help the public. You know, like them or hate them, it doesn't matter. You know, shoots ring out. The cops are going to be there.
It may take them 3 minutes, but they're going to get there.
Because they can't predict the future. And, you know, you're going to have that one cop that maybe is a little scared. You know, that's among everybody. But you're going to have more that are just there to help. Anyway, we'll move on. Drew Groves, 7765. 1.81 thousand subscribers. How many is that? 1,810. All right. This is our biggest commenter yet. Drew Groves, 7765. You better be able to do some serious running going in the door. So, that's actually a pro cop comment. Not the first one.
Heaven, yeah.
I'm okay. He probably is a cop. Shout out to Drew Groves, though. All right. Jong, 7513, FTP. If you know what that stands for, then good job.
I didn't the first time I read it, but I just figured it out. I'm like, oh, it's for you too.
Brian Stewart, 6828. So you have to pass the test to enter, then get as out of shape as you want once you're in. Should be an annual test. Shouldn't have officers getting winded after a short chase. Completely agree. I think an out of shape police officer is, obviously a liability, but a danger. It'd be kind of like we were talking about with the concealed carry, people not getting training. You're a liability and a danger in that as well.
Well, how about that Mayhem Hunt workout?
It's actually kind of... Yeah, I saw that. It's actually kind of shocking how, you know, since we're on the subject, how a lot of departments don't have more training standards and more physical standards. But we won't get into that right now. Mr. Fred, is committing domestic violence with impunity a requirement, or does that come with the badge? I don't know. Ken H. Sr., Academy hack. Start running, get your wind up. Those duty belts and body armor get heavy. You don't want to be the cop that gets outrun by someone with their pants falling down around their ankles. Actual advice from an Oakland, California police officer, several Alameda County sheriff deputies. Oh, and don't join the donut patrol. So we have actual cops. Start running. Y'all get in shape. This goes for anybody out there watching. Get in shape.
So you got to do cardio to where your heart beats slower. That way, when you're over there on that surgical table using them surgical tools, your hand don't shake,
First of all,
from breathing too hard.
All right, this guy had kind of a funny comment, but at the same time, bruh. Users, I don't care what this. If you don't have an actual name, I'm not gonna say it. First of all, you don't mind hitting people. How fat can you get? You ain't one of them smart boys, are you? 8th grade? Great. Here's your gun, boy. He's saying that's the standard for being a cop. It's funny. I read it how it was spelled. All right, Crazy Johnny. Police are the standing army. The founders warned about nothing but foot soldiers for the tyrants in government. I could kind of, Carson, you might, I don't know if you're still watching. I could definitely see that for more of the ABCs, and they could potentially be at the local level, depending on the compliance. I could definitely see what you're saying, Crazy Johnny. But at the same time, I think cops can be used fundamentally from top down. If we have a corrupt government overall, I feel like we haven't discussed this on the podcast, but we talk a lot about how the government's like corrupt or whatever, the feds, blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, like, what are our local cops? What part do they play in this, and what are they going to do? I think ultimately, it's going to be up to Shane. It's going to be up to the police chief. It's going to be up on an individual level, especially if like the sheriff and the police chief decide, okay, we're going to rock with this side, and we're going to do this. And maybe it's not the right way. Maybe they are doing wrong. Maybe they are going to end up being corrupt. On an individual level, as a person, as a cop, you have to decide in your heart what you're going to do. And when it comes to the end of the day, the right decision is not always going to be the easiest, and it's not always going to end up with butterflies and rainbows. It might get you killed. It might, get you arrested. It might get you fired. You might end up homeless because of it. And that's something I feel like even as Christians, we've heard that. I feel like I've heard stuff like that my whole life. And I feel like, a lot of the stuff we were taught growing up may be coming to fruition soon. Let's see what Carson said. It'll probably take a little while before the federal government trickles down into the ranks of local precincts, but at the end of the day, it depends who's in charge locally on what they have, the officers, police. Yeah, it's definitely up to, the people in charge at the local level. So, like, what the sheriff department here does is going to be dependent on Shane. And what the police department does is going to be dependent on the police chief and the board. It has a lot to do with the elected officials at the local level, which is why I say the local level matters more. Because you do have states that do go a little rogue. Here in Mississippi, we haven't had that. It's more of our state versus the federal government when it comes to, like, what's going on in Texas. But, Texas decided they weren't going to go with what the federal government said, and they were going to do their thing. And, that's a case where, maybe they did the right thing.
They said they from Texas.
Yeah. I'm from Texas. I'm from Texas. They said, if the government's not going to do it, if the higher levels aren't going to do it right, we're going to do it. And there's cases where states have come and said, like, governors have said, okay, nobody gets to carry a gun. And I've seen local sheriffs in that state say, we're not enforcing that. And that's the type of situation you're going to have. Each individual department is going to be a little different. But I can definitely see, Crazy Johnny, what you're talking about. And I think more on the federal level, the ATF, namely, is definitely, like, and the IRS, like, these, it seems like these people are not pro-American at all, in my opinion. I don't know. If you have any intel on that, I don't know. It's definitely fishy. I don't know what you think, Cooks. You still here, bro?
I'm here, man. I was just waiting to talk about something else from him.
What do you think about that comment, bro? Since you haven't said anything.
It depends on exactly what he means. I mean, I assume like maybe he's referring to how police, like when you think about the military, you know, when they're told to do something, they do it. You know, they're not the ones making like your troops are not the ones making the call. You know, it's your leaders of those troops.
But at the end of the day, they're going to have to answer for what they've done. And it's not, ultimately, you can't point it. You know, at one level, you have to do that. At the next level, like I was saying, it's going to be individually up to you. You know, if it's something that's not right, you know, you're going to lose your job. You might get arrested. You might get killed. You know, ultimately, it's going to be better. You're going to, you know, in this life, it may not be rewarding to do what's right. But, you know, you got to do what's right. You know, even if that ends up with your head on a platter.
Splattered.
But yeah, well, basically what he's saying is that's who they're going to use when they want to do, which they already kind of do that. They already kind of do stuff like with the pistol brace rule and with certain situations like, what was that situation? Was that Waco? Or with Ruby Ridge? Carson said he'll choose moral obligation over legal ramifications every day. And it also comes with the question of, if your state doesn't allow constitutional carry, do you carry anyway? Or do you get a permit? Would you rather be carried by 6 or judged by 12 type deal? Yeah, there's basically what he's saying is if the government oversteps, you know, they're going to be using the police. And I feel like you could already see that at the federal level in some cases where they've definitely overstepped. And there's really no punishment. But we'll move on. Gregory Johnson, glad I never got bullied in school. Mike Payne, did anyone else understand what the heck he's speaking on? This is the future of policing. I'm moving. Bro, we don't even live here. How are you going to move to? You might max around and move here.
But to answer your question, yeah, I understood what he was talking about.
Carson's dumb, bro. I could still carry, so if you're going to come up to me and ask for directions, you better do it from across the street with your hands above your head. All right, let's see if we got any more.
We have body cams.
All right, so he talks about the body cams. And this person, he said that basically, instills a little more accountability. And this person says, accountability, they sure haven't increased the cases on officers that still manage to set up innocent people. I wonder if they'll only stop working at those moments. And I basically just said that I don't think that's an issue around here, but Shane seems like the type of guy to do it the right way.
Oh, no doubt.
I don't know if it's just the
Bro, Shane was all up in that camera, bro.
Oh, no doubt.
Do what?
He was all up in that camera.
Yeah, he leaned it into it, wasn't he? Free will. All right, so Carson kind of comment. Free will is a huge variable in all these situations. It's like what we always say. There's folks that follow rules and folks that don't. I think we're pretty much. All right, so I think we covered basically because I know we hit a lot in that one podcast we just posted where you were talking about people calling people out, telling them they need to get fit, and also like comparing women and men. People don't like that. People don't like cops, apparently.
And that's why we do that around here.
Yeah, we like you when you don't like us. We're trying to bring this. We're going to say we said everything y'all don't like tonight, so we could go viral again.
Even bad publicity is still publicity.
We're going to republish these shorts with our comments responses. I don't know. Whatever the AI. I wonder if the AI will actually give us anything cool. So we're cutie patooties, Carson said. That's so sweet.
Or just
What do
call
y'all,
me hot.
Carson? What do you think about my new setup, bro? I got my whole lighting set up here. It's set up, bro.
Tell you what, this light's really bright and I can't see.
He's just like,
I've been up since 2:30 this morning.
So that's awesome. Are you finna go to sleep?
No.
Bet. Very camera. So what do y'all guys think? Do we have any hot takes?
Oh yeah, I wanted to say something real quick. This whole situation with Texas and Biden trying to federalize the Texas National
It's
Guard
sketchy, bro.
shows you their true intentions shows you what their intentions are. And it's not to protect this country at all.
It doesn't make any sense.
Why are we trying to allow more, or we're removing what is working, right? Texas decided to take action because the government, Border Patrol, is not doing their job, right? The government's supposed to protect our borders. Well, that's what they're, what's the word I'm thinking of?
I don't
That's
know.
what that's what's expected of them, right? But we all know how corrupt the government is. So when somebody finally takes actions and does what the people want, they're like, no, you can't have that, right?
But it makes no sense.
They say Texas is Texas,
They said based on the counts that they have, basically how they count how many people are coming over is the people they see, the people they arrest, the people they have contact with. And saying that, there's a lot of people they don't come in contact with because there's so much area to cover, you can't literally see it all. They say there's more people coming in the border every day than are being born every day in America.
We're being invaded. That's why I didn't comment earlier saying, I was going to bring up the fact that we have so many guns, and that's one of the factors that factor into the reason we don't get invaded. But then again, I think like we're literally being invaded every day by.
Yeah, I'm not one to like
criminals.
I know it seems like it. I'm not one to typically gloom and doom or just think that all people are invading. But if I was doing it, I'd do it like that. The border's wide open. Send people in. Send them and spread them all across the United States. And
plant them here and here and here and here.
Yeah.
And when I say go.
Because it's going to be hard. You can't. It's because it's a lot easier just to walk in through Mexico than it is to drop in the sky when it's obvious. Obviously, if you fly in, they're going. Well, I say that. We had those spiral balloons that they just refused to shoot down forever, and I was going to say they probably just shoot them down if they're going to come in airborne, but they may not. They might just let them come on in. Oh, they're just here to kill us. That's fine. But when I saw that video with that dude, and they're like, "Hey, who are you?" and he was like, you're not smart enough to know who I am, but you're gonna know me soon enough. I'm just like, this dude is a known terrorist saying that, and he's literally walking into the country. Who else is here that we don't know?
Everybody that we know.
Why is it a problem to try to keep people from illegally coming in?
Why is it a problem of protecting our country?
We don't mind them coming in.
Come in the right way.
Yeah, just come in the front door.
Don't come in through the freaking window.
That's how you get shot. If you come and break in my house, in my window, you're probably gonna get shot. I'm not saying don't read into that I'm saying just shoot people that come into the country. Once they're in, I mean, how do you differentiate whether they came? I don't know if they came in legally or not. That's probably none of my business. But if you're going to be doing illegal stuff, stay out. And that's one thing a lot of people they think that Republicans and people are just against immigration. They're not. They're against illegal immigration. Yes, I get it's very hard for people to immigrate.
People forget there's a difference, but it's mainly because they're so used to doing things illegally, they forget there's a legal way to do it.
But it's just like that last thing we talked about. If there's no way to keep people out, then anybody can come in. I get that it's harder to come in. It takes a long time to come in and become a citizen or whatever, do it the right way. But if that's how it is, that's how it is. And it's supposed to keep us safe. Go through the proper authorities. If you're clean, you can come on in. If you're Osama bin Laden, you can stay in Mexico. But if the border's wide open, they can just come on in. Carson said it's like stealing something when if you just asked for it, you'd have got it. Yeah, man. I'm not saying certain things are going to happen, but if certain things do happen, I could say that I saw it coming. You know what I'm saying? Somewhat.
I'm trying to read up on some Texas stuff.
I can see, if they end up federalizing the National Guard, and they pull out, then it's just going to be Boogie Boys, Boonie Cat Boys, whatever you want to call it, rednecks, and then it's going to be a throwdown between them and the feds. And I think Americans at large are fed up. And there's a lot of Americans, especially after what they did January 6th, with labeling people as things they were not, and making stuff seem as if it's not. That
I think even
it's going to be
domestic terrorist.
Yeah, it's going to be what they're calling it. They're going to. I'm trying to think of what the word. They're going to make. What's it called when you? They're going to incite. They're basically creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. People are going to get fed up, especially the extremes, and they're going to do what the other people said that they already did. But it's going to really happen. But I could see that being a problem, especially on the wide scale. As hot as the fire is right now, I could see, in isolated events, stuff happening, and them getting away with it, and people just going on with the status quo. I feel like the day and time we're in right now, the fire's hot. And if you pour any type of gas on it, it's going up.
Yeah, that's usually how fires work. Whether it's hot or cold, I mean, it's
cold fire, man. We talk about stuff like this every week. But if you want to become a better man, if you want to become more prepared for something like that was to happen, if you want to be, if Alabama invades Mississippi,
bro, we'd win so.
If you want to
so bad,
if you want to become an asset to your community, if you want to be looked at as a dependable man in your community, not just someone who sits on the couch and plays video games and doesn't know how to change a tire. If you want to get in shape, if you want to get closer to Jesus, if you want to become a better husband, better father,
click the link in the description.
Click the link in the description. Join the Burden Society Discord. Okay, it's free.
And we will allow you to be a better father.
We have channels for all sorts of things. We're adding more channels regularly. We're gonna start doing something. I haven't decided how often or what exactly. I know I'm pretty sure I want to start a Bible study. But y'all join the Discord. And March 2nd, we're doing our first Burden Society Forge. Still have spots if you really want to come. If not, we're happy with what we got. We don't need you. You know what? Carson, you're not coming. Okay? You're fired. I'm just kidding, bro. Please come. Please come. But yeah, we're going to get together and we're going to become better men. Iron sharpens iron. We're going to forge men. Burden Society Forge. Stay tuned. We're going to try to do them quarterly. I'm ready to start playing the next one.
We gotta play in this one first.
Lost. It's just like I'm playing it by myself. I'll ask y'all so many times.
Oh, you don't be awake when I'm awake, man. It's not my problem.
Night, Carson. We're handling it. Lost Design Coffee Company. Something like that. Lost Pizza. Lost Signal Design Company. Hit him up, bro. It's blowing up on local level Facebook. He's trying to make this his full-time job. He makes all our graphics. So get after him.
He made this hat. He made that flag back there.
No. But yeah, y'all go get some training, get better, put the work in, become a better human. Put work in. We'll see y'all next time.
Get hard, stay hard. Peace out.